can we turn off the air?
I could help these guys anti-bitter.
Right now.
The standard of truth has been erected.
Stop playing defense.
You're absolutely right.
No unhallowed hand can stop the broadcast.
That is the way that a lot of Latter-day Saints do apologetics.
Cancel culture rages and mobs combine.
We actually had one of the protesters over for dinner.
What?
But the truth of God will go forth boldly
These people are lying to you. They do not care about you.
until it has reached every television, sounded in every iPhone, and reached every person. This signal will continue to go forth. Here we defend truth. Here we denounce deception. Here we are created in the image of God. Our detractors call us crazy, but our friends call us.
All right. Woo! That was painful.
That was very painful.
That was really painful.
That was a
but-
lot.
Yeah, that was a lot. Thank you guys. For anybody that's here that has been patient with us, thank you so much for being patient with us. This is the Ward Radio live stream. We are back, and we are back in the green. We don't know what the problem was, but in the myriad software that must be used on our last live stream, something was bottlenecking. And so we had to end up rebooting the entire system. When you got all these supercomputers and super mixers and super everything happening all at once, well, boom. It ends up taking a little bit longer than we'd like to admit in order for everything to get going on at once. So anyway, there is so much going on today, Brittany. I almost didn't know what to talk about. At first, I thought we were going to have a nice, light and simple conversation that we've wanted to have for the past 48 hours about, hey, RFK is running. Is he going to be a contender in North American politics for the White House? Are Mormons going to vote for him? One of his big things is holding pharmaceutical companies to account. And that's really kind of a hot topic in our culture here in North America and in our faith. And we thought we'd just have kind of a nice little Tuesday evening conversation about that. And then World War III basically broke out, and today I covered an incredible protest that was just absolutely mind-boggling. And what are you saying, babe?
I'm saying, can you turn off the air conditioning?
Oh, okay. I thought you were giving me the high sign. I was thinking that
No,
you were
I'm
thinking
just
that
cold.
Yeah, you're just it's a tough life being skinny and beautiful. See,
Yeah.
I've got my warm winter coat.
Yeah.
So I can't say that I have that problem.
That winter coat.
Yeah, the problem. Okay, before I bust out and talk a little bit about this protest that we went to, everybody in the chat, please let me know. Has your life been as crazy as ours has been recently? This is a fun stream. Today, we're just having a bunch of fun. We're going to talk about anything that you guys want to talk about, okay? Anything that strikes your fancy, just send us a super chat our way. We would love to opine. We would love to talk. And then we'll also let you know what's going on in our life. And as I start pulling up these pictures, you can hopefully tell us what's going on in yours.
I put in some funny TikToks too in the Discord just to keep it light because, World War III is heavy.
Okay, cool. Well, we can always check those out afterwards. Then Richard Stafford says, show the protest video. The shadow survived. It's always bulking season if you believe in yourself, Cardin. Yes, it's always bulking season. Thank you, Richard Stafford, our a good solid libertarian friend of ours over there. And Jersey G suggests #don't freeze Brittany. So
thank you.
You've got your girls. You've got your compatriots.
I like to keep my house warm. I know that kind of bugs people. I don't know where do you put your thermostat at? For me, 75, 76. That's where I like to keep my house.
Really?
Yeah. My mom growing up, was like a 65er. And I was like, Mom, can we turn on the heat or turn off the air conditioning? And she's like, if you're cold, you can put on slippers and a sweatshirt. And I was like, I don't want to be bundled up inside my house.
Yeah, dude, that's brutal. She was one of those, huh?
Yeah, but your mom was like that too. It was always cold at your mom's.
That's true, dude.
I don't know.
That's true.
I like it warm. I like to be warm.
Yeah, this is totally nuts. So anyway, I'm going to go over some of these pictures here today, babe, because these are absolutely nuts.
From the protest or rally today.
So, I mean, all of us have seen the horrific images that unfortunately can't be put on the on the tube of you during live stream, but I will go over a protest that I just went to that I am telling you, it is absolutely incredible. What have you felt is different about this one than in comparison to other drama we've gone through before? What do you sense is different?
I think the one side that, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what I'm allowed to say on YouTube.
Yeah.
But this is hard. Like, this one side is saying stuff that used to be kept quiet. They're now comfortable with saying it out loud. And that feels really evil and weird to me and unsettling.
Yeah. So basically, every once in a while, besides doing my own radio show, things like that, I freelance as a reporter or a photographer, or I like to say just a media specialist for some local news outlets here in Los Angeles. Okay. Honestly, to the highest bidder. Okay. And today I covered a protest here in North LA County, and it was pretty intriguing. Okay. I'm just gonna burst through. I haven't even had a chance to finish editing these yet, but we're gonna go through these. But as you can see right here, there was just a full-blown protest. And what was interesting, it was in front of one of the local city halls here, okay? And you can see that this is early in the morning when it just barely started to, people started showing up and so on and so forth. And I'm going to try and make it so that you can see.
Also, Danny Gray says, Cardin super chats may not be working. I got charged, but it's not coming through.
Super chats aren't working. What?
I don't know how to fix that.
Oh my gosh, I swear YouTube is a dragon today. What is going on?
I don't know how to do that techie thing.
You don't know how to do that techie thing? Okay, so hold on. I'm going to check this out. It should be on customization. Yeah, like everything should be on. Hopefully YouTube's not stealing your money, man. You know what I'm saying? But
Danny, write your comment and I'll do my best to try and see where it's at.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I'm going to come back to this right here and just show you what's going on. I mean, this is absolutely incredible. So, here we are. Hold on. Get them photos back up. I wish that we could see all of the gallery. It will, no, not full screen, not, okay, cool. So anyway, I'm just going to show you guys right here. Go through it. Okay, so this whole protest starts up, right?
Well, first, can I say the history about this?
Yes, say the history about this.
So there's an Instagram account for our town, and at first they just do things about what's happening in the town. You know, this restaurant just opened. Oh, this restaurant's closing. Just town gossip. So they posted that a pro-Israel rally was going to be happening at City Hall at 5 p.m. And all the comments, divisive. Then, I think it was, I don't know how much longer, but after that post, then there was a pro-Palestinian rally. Same place, same time. So it seems like the pro-Palestinian, just my opinion, seems like they were annoyed that there was a pro-Israel rally. So then they camped out on either side of the street facing each other and were just, Cardin told me stories. I wasn't there. I drove by and I saw what was going on and I was like, yeah, I'm not going there. But it sounded very hateful.
Well, and we're in a very weird spot in North American politics where it's just like, if you're on the right, thou shalt love Israel. If you're on the left, thou shalt hate it. It's just this weird kind of, what are they doing over there? Okay, we're going to do the exact opposite. And it's like, wow, the enemy of my enemy is not my friend. And this is a super unhealthy type of thought process. But yeah, okay, I've been able to pull up all my pictures here. So you're going to have to forgive us because, I'm just going to be burning through here the photos that I took and just explaining what went on basically as it went on. And you guys are going to be able to see this with me. But let me tell you, it was just totally crazy. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to read Danny Gray's super chat.
Yeah. Read the super chats.
I don't even know if I want to read Danny Gray's super chat because I don't like it.
Oh, really?
He says, the Dodgers are losing to the Diamondbacks. God is good.
Oh, he's one of those guys. Although I got to tell you, you know what? Ever since they indulged in the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence, I got to say, my team in Los Angeles, I threw away my hat and I got rid of my jerseys. Remember that, babe?
Yeah.
Because they decided to do the anti-religious hate group, and I was
they
like,
were
fine.
so wishy-washy too.
I'm done with the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Now, it doesn't mean I love the Diamondbacks, but I'm done with the Dodgers from now. And so we'll see if they can earn back my money and my trust.
I do like going to a baseball game though. I'm like, you get your nachos, you get your hot dog. That's what I like. I like the food.
And that was one of our first dates, babe. What was our first date with your family?
That's true. We went to, was it Mormon Dodger night?
Ooh, I don't know. You look good that day.
That day?
All days, but especially that day.
Thank you. Okay. Also, I don't know if it's short for December or Deck, but he gave us a super chat.
Hey, thanks, Deck.
Yeah.
Or December.
Yeah. And
that's a good kid's name. Named a kid December. Like, what's up, December?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Okay. Stephen Diamond, since I'm going to BYUI in the winter, my number of super chats will have to go down. Spread the word of Temple Rocks when I am silent. My love to you. Aww.
Well, you're going to BYU, Idaho in the winter, dude? Oh, that's cool. I thought Stephen Diamond was like an old guy or something.
Oh, we've already gone over this.
We did? Well,
yeah.
How was I mistaken?
I don't know. But yeah, he's a college student.
Oh, that's my chemo brain kicking in? We
Probably.
talked about this and I didn't remember?
It was on a live stream.
Stephen, you know what, Stephen Diamond? You get a shirt. So does Descartes. Descartes made an epic comment today that I might even just pull up in the chat later on. And when I get my first Ward Radio shorts, Stephen Diamond and Descartes, you guys get the good comment shirt. Maybe I should design a shirt that's just for people to make really good comments. Maybe it's got some kind of cool flair on it that says, I made the best comment on YouTube this day. And we write like the date in or something like that. I don't know. I'm going to have to figure out something, but it's going to be pretty sick. Anyway, okay. So here in North LA County, I'm just going to burn through this and show you guys what's going on. But we went to this protest and it was interesting because the protest started out very small, okay, but of course, here's the first car that pulls up and big time pro-Palestinian presence saying, hey, we're going to protest the counter-protest. And I'm going to go back right here. You see this car? This dude with a little American flag starts showing up and says like, no, like you can't come here. And I got to say, I don't know what the police were thinking, not preempting this. Because when it gets out on social media that there's going to be a Israeli v. Palestine protest and counter protest, I don't know how that doesn't read as a mini proxy war. You know what I'm saying? So, wish they would have shown up earlier, But anyway, so this cat takes his American flag as this blue convertible is strutting their Palestinian stuff. And stands in front of course, it yields this big hullabaloo where this person's just laying on their horn, right? And, at first they're just, bumping their music and so on and so forth. And people say, hey, don't engage, be peaceful, be peaceful, be peaceful. But then, boom, this girl who is loud and proud just with her giant Zionist T-shirt on, I guess we know exactly what she's thinking, starts screaming at him and pointing at him. And as you can imagine, you literally have a Zionist screaming at somebody with a Palestinian flag within 6 feet of each other. And
is this like before the rally even really took place?
This was before the speakers had taken the stands. Okay. Before the speakers had taken the stands. You literally have people that are, just screaming at each other. And I get it. Look, I've been to Israel. I see why both sides hate each other, but I don't think today is a day to play both sidesism. You know what I'm saying? That's the truth in that. Right? I don't think today is the day to play both sidesism. When you do, I just think it's a lack of leadership that leads to situations like this. Like, who lets this happen? I mean, I get that free speech is what freedom sounds like, and unfortunately, the tree of liberty has to be watered by the blood of patriots every once in a while. At the same token, let us be smart. Let us be smart. If there's going to be a protest and a counter protest, okay, cool. Let us have our law enforcement there. Let us make sure that stuff like this break out, because this is child's play compared to what happened later. So anyway, they of course start mouthing off to each other, and then people start crossing the street to come over and, take their side. Homegirl gets out of the car. She's not having it. Okay. And then pretty soon, it kind of escalates here, and enough so that I actually got a pretty good shot here. Enough so that boom shakalaka, unfortunately, Zionist girl gets pepper sprayed right there. You see that?
Seriously?
Look, you see that? There was a bunch of people that got pepper sprayed. I actually brought my sunglasses. The reason why you show up to some of these things in sunglasses is because even if you end up being downwind of the wrong person, you get pepper sprayed. Yeah, look at that right there. So we're going to pull in just a little bit, and yeah, boom shakalaka. Right there, she's straight up getting pepper sprayed. You see that right there? So the Palestinian activist right here is pepper spraying this girl. Now, of course, she's going to be able to say, "Oh, it wasn't self-defense."
Yeah, when you
so
can't explain your side with logic and reason, that's when the pepper spray gets pulled out.
Oof, rough. So anyway, let's go back to the picture here. But yeah, so she pepper sprays her right there. I'm going to continue through the photos really fast. And that results in kind of a little face-off right here. Okay. At which point this older gentleman starts getting in the face of this young gentleman with the Palestinian flag. And I got to tell you, man.
Wait, so what happened to the people that were being pepper sprayed?
Dude, there was no cops around yet. They hadn't showed up yet.
Oh my gosh.
They hadn't showed up yet. You know what I'm saying? This is right when they got called.
This is why I don't go to these things with you.
This is right when they got called. Oh, babe, come on. You should wear your heels and just like look really pretty. There were some bureaucrats over there and some nice, pantsuits, little product things. So anyway, like this is proof America is a melting pot right there. Like this is proof that America is a melting pot right there. And there's a lot of anger, a lot of rage out there with both these guys. So anyway, it keeps going. I'm gonna get this back down to its real size, okay? And we'll keep cruising here. So these cats have a couple of words with each other, and one thing that was really interesting about this protest and counter protest that I noticed was almost all of the pro-Israel people and speakers were male. Almost all of the pro-Palestinian speakers and activists, the most vocal ones, were female.
Interesting.
These two girls, these two women right here getting out of the sports car were just the most vocal by far. And it was, there she goes again. You know what I'm saying? You've got the...
Well, and that's why she has the pepper spray.
You got the pepper spray.
Because she knows, I can't beat up a male.
Well, in all fairness,
I will be killed by a male. Like, women cannot beat up men. Like, that's not sexist, or we just can't.
And in all fairness, you don't know who's throwing stuff, and you don't know what's going on. There's someone, what's it called, that allegedly threw something. And so, when you have something thrown at you from behind, you don't know what's going on. I could see why you might whip out some pepper spray, but dude, that girl was pepper spraying twice, and man, this girl was not giving up. She was not giving up, and they just started yelling at her. And the interesting part was this was all done in English. They were translating every single one of their chants, right? So anyway,
wait, who was translating what?
Both sides. Both sides. It was interesting. Both sides. One of the rabbis did a prayer where he did a chant in Hebrew, and they would say the beginning and the end, like maybe shalom, and would say amin, or whatever the translation in Hebrew of amen is. But other than that, everything was done in English. And even the protesting, like amongst people that spoke, I'm trying to describe the interest of it here, because they were it was obvious that it was for display and not just for internal communication, if that makes sense. And anyway, this poor girl, she ended up getting wrapped somehow accidentally in that flag there. I don't know exactly what happened, but anyway, yeah, it got kind of crazy. And of course, the media, like, you can't. At one point, I was wondering, did they pay them? You know, because everybody swarms. I was the one that got there first, right? But these people were extremely vocal, and I have footage that I haven't been able to download yet.
Did anyone talk to you or like tell you to get a camera out of their face or anything?
No, I was really close. See, this is actually a wide angle lens, so you don't realize how close I was. But this woman was yelling that phrase that you often hear before bad things happen with people who strap things to themselves.
Yeah.
And she was yelling it at the Jewish counter protesters right here. Like, I mean,
were the Jewish protesters yelling any slurs at them that you heard?
Saying you're evil. These, you support terrorism, you support the slaughter of children. What's interesting is both.
So not really any, like, I wouldn't call that slurs, would you?
But I mean, how I think it's hard to say who started it, right? I just know that this car was running around, it was honking and obviously playing very loud pro-Palestinian music. With giant flags and, stop the occupation now, that your occupation kills children, and so on and so forth. And then, of course, these people say, oh, yeah, well, you support Hamas, and Hamas kills children, and so on and so forth. So they just start going after each other.
Who had a bigger turnout?
Who had a bigger turnout?
Yeah.
Let me tell you. Let's see here.
Or did it look pretty even?
I'm going to get to the picture right here. But this girl, by the way, she was hardcore,
yeah, I don't
fearless.
Want to mess with her.
Like, yeah, I mean, she's in white camo pants and boots with mace in her hand, pointing at whoever was standing in front of her car. So anyway, I go back, I get the first speaker, and then finally this is when the cops show up. Because look, you literally have 3 pro-Palestinian guys right here within just 20 feet of all of the grieving Israeli people. I mean, there's women that are crying and in tears only about 20 feet away from this guy who's holding up a sign. That one dude had that one guy that you see right here. I'm going to zoom in. Okay, the one guy that you see right there, that red hat that kind of looks a little bit like a play on words of a MAGA hat, said, make Israel Palestine again. And just, phraseology like that. So yeah, we're going to keep going. But dude, the cops have not been called yet. And so finally, once it starts getting a little bit kinetic here, and 2 people have already been maced and a fight's already broken out, finally the cops show up. Okay. And
I wonder if that's because they came on their own accord or if people called them.
I don't know, but let me tell you, like, I had heard from connections that I had in that specific city hall that they'd already notified the police when they heard that a protest and a counter protest was going to happen. And so I don't know why the cops weren't there ahead of time. By the time I left, there was over 50 law enforcement, maybe even 100.
Wow.
Okay. But, and people were pretty on edge, but, I don't know why they weren't there at the beginning, but anyway, we'll continue here. So what happens is law enforcement shows up and they finally say, all right, well, you gotta separate the groups, right? So here was one of the local rabbis, cool kid, showing his support. And then they finally started the formal proceedings of the evening, right? Where the people give their talks and they give their speeches and they say what's going on. I was able to get some pictures of people in the crowd and kind of measure the tenor of the support. And what's it called? the group. They cordoned off everybody that was doing the kind of we support Israel thing on one side of the street. And then on the other side of the street, they said, okay, all of the pro-Israeli protesters have to go, right? So, I mean, the pro-Palestinian protesters have to go. So they kind of separate the groups, which I think was wise. And these guys start protesting. Now, the numbers only grew. Okay. By the way, am I missing anything here? Do you have any questions?
No.
No. Okay, cool. Do we have any super chats we need to catch up on?
No.
Okay, cool. Well, anyway, the numbers only grew, and you really started then seeing kind of proxy war via traffic. All right. And at this point, whoever showed their support most by how you drove by was kind of what was going on. And yeah, they're taking statements from the different people who were involved in the different breakouts and everything. I had a camera on the whole time, and the cops never asked me for anything. So I don't really know how this was handled, but I was able to walk around and take pictures of everything that was happening as it happened. And a couple of speakers came out, but then I started getting the billboards to try and measure, not the billboards, but not the picket boards, but the protest signs to kind of measure the tone and tenor. Now, I don't know who made these, but some of these were actually pretty well produced. Okay. And what was interesting is on the pro-Palestinian side, there's this guy that came up with a bunch of phone calls. He says, okay, my brothers and my sisters, who is ready to, I don't remember the verb he said, like to fight or to, he might have said something in another language. I wasn't quite sure because he was turning as he put the objects down, but it was a ton of foam core signs and markers. So they were like in the act of protest arming up as it happened. But there was somebody that also planned this ahead of time, because a lot of the pro-Israeli people had these kind of black and white block letter signs up, So the numbers started out small, but then they started growing, right? And growing pretty quickly. This is the fiery speech that ended up making it onto the news. And this is Rabbi Hani, who will hopefully be able to get on the show, who is the one who sang and said the prayer and the chant. He's a really funny guy. I've been a friend with him. We've done lots of different Boy Scout projects before. Actually, it was the Boy Scouts that brought us together originally, like 10 years ago. I had to make an ecumenical prayer that could be said at the Boy Scout functions that would be respectful of everybody involved. I didn't realize there was a couple of Jewish synagogues that had fielded 2 troops. And I had put a letter out saying, hey, I'm the new, roundtable chair for the district and so on and so forth. And I want to run the meetings in the most ecumenical way possible. If you guys have any suggestions about how I can make the meetings just, more inclusive, more comfortable, more fun, better attended, so on and so forth, let me know. And one of the Jewish Scoutmaster guys came up and he said, hey, how's it going? He said, are you a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints? And I said, yes, I am. And he said, okay, I know a lot of the troops are Mormon and a lot of the troops are Korean Christians. There's a heavy Korean Christian population in Southern California, so on and so forth. And there's a lot of Catholic Boy Scout troops. But he said, me and my boys, we actually represent a local synagogue and there's one other church. We appreciate that you guys pray in the name of Jesus Christ, but that's not our Christ. So just if we could somehow mitigate that, right? And he was super respectful and nice, wasn't being like demanded or anything. I thought, oh, you know what? That's true. If you close a prayer in the name of Jesus Christ, amen. Oh, it's soliciting Jesus Christ as deity, and Jewish people, though Christ was a Jew, may not recognize him as the Messiah. They're waiting for their own still. According to their faith. And so I said, okay, cool. And so I actually called around. I called the Catholic bishop, or the equivalent of the Catholic bishop. I called our bishop, our stake president, and I called up the local Shabbat, the local synagogue, and I asked to speak to their ecclesiastical leader. And I said, okay, cool. Is it okay if we just close in God's name? Amen. And he said, yes, I'd be fine with that. The Catholic guy was like, yes, I'd be fine with that. And the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints guy said, yes, I would be fine with that. And the Cretan evangelical guy said, yes, I would be fine with it. So I got up and I said, okay, cool. This is how we're saying our prayers in our opening Boy Scout meetings from here on out. We're saying, in God's name, amen. Please try and stick to these guidelines. And everybody else agreed except for one really angry evangelical that like refused to allow prayers to be said by any of his congregation because we asked him to close in God's name, amen, which honestly, isn't that what the whole Nicene Creed is all about? That it's all one with no parts and patches. Like, I mean, you'd think that the evangelicals that are constantly saying Mormons got it wrong by not having the triune spirit, you know what I said? You think they'd be the ones like, oh yeah, hey, Mormons are finally coming around, you know? But like, no, did not want anybody in his flock involved in such heinous verbiage as in God's name, amen. But anyway, so had a couple of speeches given. This is where I was getting some good pictures just for the local media outlets, so on and so forth. And then up came something I got to say is actually really cool is Jewish music. I don't know if you're familiar with modern contemporary Jewish music, but there's people that have done fusions, babe, of like traditional chants with like kind of almost like modern rock and drums, and it's actually pretty sick. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I got to admit, it's pretty rad. So anyway, yeah. So we keep going here, and it was intense, man. Like the numbers started coming in more. Within 15 minutes, you ended up, oh yeah, that was a really hard one.
Yeah,
you know, it's like, oh, well, before one side thought that it was without blemish. I mean, or just remember the.
When I said if there were any slurs, oop.
Yep.
That one.
So yeah, there was a couple of rough protest signs here.
You know what else I think is interesting?
Uh-huh.
Were there any American flags on the pro-Palestine side?
You're going to be able to see. You know what? That's a really good question.
Because I'm seeing lots on the Israel side, but I don't see any on the Palestinian side.
You know, okay, let's see if we can make this distinction.
I think I already know the answer, but
I'm wow, so you're really opinionated there. So look, okay. Yeah, we got a lot of pro-Palestine flags in a boombox, and there's our camoed up girl. She was leading the charge here. It was these two ladies right here that were just totally leading the charge. And the first one showing up and the bravest one's last one to leave. I mean, it was pretty intense. So this is where warfare via car started, okay? And it was very interesting. The first person to figure out that they could instigate the other side and make the other side angry was the Palestinian side. Figured out that if they could stop traffic and just honk their horns, that the other protesters would get angry. And then that would give them their time to chant on the other side of the street. So you actually had people crossing and slowing down in front of the other protesters and yelling at them. And there were some fights that broke out with people trying to punch into cars.
Oh my gosh.
And yeah, no, they had to peel a pro-Israel guy off of this car that had stopped and was yelling and was chanting at them while he slowed down, and a dude came and like tried to punch into his car. And yeah, it was savage. It was pretty hardcore. So anyway, yeah, they just kept on making their protest signs. And yeah, here was that hat that I told you about right there earlier that says "Make Israel Palestine Again." I saw that was kind of a play on words of "Make America Great Again." And yeah, me and one other reporter were the only guys right there. There's another reporter for the local newspaper. We're some of the only guys that were on the pro-Palestinian side. Most of the other news.
Did you use the crosswalk cardin?
No, not at all.
Gosh.
And I was running in front of cops. And, you know, like some people are looking at me like, are you going to jaywalk? I'm like, bro, this jaywalking reporter who's obviously local media is the last of these cops' worries. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, not a one, you know, and they're looking around. I said, I talked to a couple of the officers, And yeah, so the numbers started growing. This is still early in the day. Like, it hasn't even gotten dark yet,
So
right?
it definitely seems like there's more Israel than Palestine from what I'm seeing.
There definitely was. Yeah. And then you had a couple of devout guys there. I thought that was interesting. Right in the middle of the protest, I guess there was a call to prayer. Or maybe it was the time. And one of the guys got down and used his protest mat as kind of like a prayer roll, which is one of the beautiful things that a friend of mine who is a comedian who is Muslim at BYU, I always thought was beautiful. The Muslim call to prayer is something that they take very seriously. And it's something that I have holy envy for. At BYU, they actually made kind of like an informal, I guess you could call it a chapel, like an informal mosque, shall we say, where the Muslim students that wanted to celebrate the call to prayer would be given a break in between their classes, or they were allowed to kind of reorganize their classes so that they would have a time when they were on campus where they could go to a certain room. I think there was 1 or 2 rooms on campus that were reserved for the Muslim practicing.
See, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah, the Muslim
I
practicing.
think that's a beautiful part of their religion. I like that.
Exactly. And so this guy, I give him respect, dude. Just like in the middle of a protest, he's like, boom.
Also, the cynical part of me, should I say it?
I don't know this guy's heart, and he wasn't a super aggressive protester.
Okay.
So you can save your cynicism for another one of them that might have been a little bit more aggressive.
Okay, fine.
But this cat, I did not see engaging in anything that I viewed as below book. With that said, there was many Palestinians that were saying, no, be peaceful. We need this to be a peaceful representation. And there was others that were not. Okay. So it was a mixed bag on both sides. Okay. Again, I'm not playing both sidesism here. Not today. I think there is a side that is an aggressor and there's a side that is a defender. At the same time, that may not represent correctly the entirety of any individual person's thought process, right? We want to be respectful of the individual without painting with too broad of a brush. Okay. So anyway, the protest continues. And I mean, I've only been here less than an hour. And we haven't even gotten over the.
Okay, well, let's get to the nitty gritty. Let's get to the brawls or something, because I want to get to my fun TikToks too.
Oh, you want to get to your fun TikToks? Okay, well then I'll just broon through this. I give credit to whoever showed up on behalf of the Israelis because man,
but is that
they got a baseball stadium sized flag?
But why is it on the ground? Is that just an American thing that we don't put on the ground?
Well, with the American flag, you could actually do the same thing because do you want to know what that is and what it isn't? Do you ever notice at the Super Bowl when they pull out the flag, it drags along the ground until everybody's holding it, right? Which you would think is disrespectful of the flag because that's against the flag rules. And do you want to know what the justification of that is?
You're not an official flag holder?
No, that's not a flag.
Oh.
That's a prop. A flag is actually a flag that has to be of a certain dimension. Okay. And so if it's a stage prop as part of a stage element, like you have to paint the flag on the floor, if you're going to build like a state house, or if you're going to make a tablecloth that is going to be at some kind of patriotic dinner or 4th of July party, a tablecloth is not a flag. You may have a tablecloth of a flag.
I just think the optics, you probably shouldn't have it on the ground at a rally or a protest.
Yeah. And so anyway, they got this big old flag going and it was nuts. And then
did you see me drive by? Am I in the car?
No, I didn't. Oh. I didn't. But anyway, this one was weird. I didn't get this guy's son. It said QUEERS for Palestine equals chicken for KFC. I didn't get the joke or the reference there. But anyway, KTLA 5, all of the big news organizations finally started showing up, and I told them, I was like, "Oh, you kind of missed it." The sheriffs were out in force en masse.
Wait, Carton, how do you not understand that sign?
Well, I couldn't read it all the way. Which one?
The one that you just read. It's because Palestine, they don't accept people of that orientation. So it's like chickens in KFC, like they'll be slaughtered.
Oh, so chickens. Okay, I get it there. Yeah. I was like, So it was a 4. Okay, I couldn't really see with it at an angle. Everything was going on.
I mean, I'm assuming that's what I meant. That's what I got out of it.
Okay, cool. Awesome. The let me see here. Am I done? Oh, I may be done. Anyway, we got super chats to catch up on.
Okay.
It's kind of crazy, huh?
Yeah. Okay. Clint Rapier, I think,
Yeah.
says, "Do we need any more signs of end times?" I don't. Dude.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know-
I definitely agree with you.
You think so?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure people in Joseph Smith days were like, oh, yeah, it's coming, like Civil War or whatever. Or they were probably like, oh, this is the end of the days. So maybe we're like that, and maybe it's not for another 1,000 years. I don't know, but definitely feels like it could be the end.
Yeah, are you one of those 20, 33 years? Huh?
I mean, maybe. I honestly don't know enough about the second coming. Like, I am
Really?
not too familiar with everything that has to happen, and but it definitely feels like it could be.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to show you a couple of just funny videos. When you say you want to see the nitty gritty, these will be the last videos
Okay.
that I show of this, but they are kind of funny. So, they're humorous. So, well, this one's not necessarily humorous. This is just a little bit more of the protest. Okay, so they're on their side of the street doing this whole thing,
She
right?
brought a mic.
Oh, yeah. These ladies were intense. And as I said before, it was interesting that it's the women that were leading a lot of the Palestinian chants and a lot of the... Yeah, so it was mostly women that were running the pro-Palestinian side that I thought was interesting. Or at least the most vocally outspoken ones. I don't know if there was anything formally run. Okay, but here was when things got kind of humorous. You notice there's one side. They got the Palestinian guys on one side. Then they got the Israeli people on the other side. It was pretty obvious that they had to put up the barricades and they had to try and keep people at bay. But this is when the honk competition started, and people would try and create more noise through honking and slowing down the other side's traffic. So that's where we get into the next clip, which honestly
Did honks mean support you or hate you?
it was the way they honked. You could tell if they would stop right in front of you and just lay on it to annoy you, you'd tell like, okay, so this is a counter protesting technique.
Okay.
It was very organic. But here we go. Check this out. So this guy stops, and he'd just been busted on this side of the street for presumably or allegedly harassing the Israeli side. So he goes on the other side and he stops and he's kind of putting his fist in the air and saying, yeah, look at us go. And I will go back really fast. It's this dude right here, okay? Wealthy looking guy, very well dressed, had an attractive woman in the car as well. Seemed well put together, but was passionate in whatever he was chanting. I couldn't hear whatever he was chanting. But anyway, he gets traffic stopped, but he did it in the wrong spot because a cop was only 2 cars behind him.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah, cop was only 2 cars behind him. And he ends up getting pulled over. And yeah, so that...
That guy feels like an idiot.
Yeah, like I gotta say, when you look at him, like I've never heard a bigger cheer in my life, and I wish I would have had a non-directional microphone on, because when the Israeli side started cheering, it was like they just watched a funny commercial together, you know. So we'll watch this one again from the beginning. Yeah, so poor guy just got pulled over.
gosh.
Which I'm sorry, like no matter what side of this argument you're on, if that happens and you decide to like make a big stink and stop traffic right in the middle of a protest, there's a cop 2 cars behind you that ends up lighting you up and giving you a ticket. That's just rough.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? That's just funny.
Yeah.
You know, but I give credit to the guy. I mean, I don't know what he was chanting or what he was yelling or what his political views are, things like that. Obviously, he would be considered pro-Palestinian at a glance based off of, you know, just how he was behaving at the rally. But he came back. He came back and kept circling and kept chanting after having gotten a ticket. I'm like, dude, that's commitment to whatever you wanted to chant, because I never got to hear.
He had a safe face.
I never got to hear what he wanted to chant, but whatever he wanted to chant, he was committed to.
Oh my gosh.
So anyway, yeah.
How long did the whole thing last? Would you say?
I was there for an hour. Okay.
And was it still going on?
And yeah, because I actually had to come and upload my part of the footage, and I did a switch around with one of the other reporters that was there for the organization that we were freelancing for. And so then I got footage of them getting a ticket, which was kind of funny. And we'll probably write a story about that a little bit later. But yeah, like this was one of the more heated protesters. I saw 2 people get maced. I saw people throwing flags around each other on the other side. And people throwing stuff at each other, honk battles like crazy. And then, yeah, a dude having to get peeled out of a moving car that was trying to punch the dude inside of the car. It was nuts, man. It was nuts. And this is why sometimes I worry about the left in North America. They've always been dealing with kind of like suburban soccer moms that like do this whole Christian 1960s suburban, oh, I'm just going to turn the other cheek, which really means I'm going to cede ground to you and walk away and just let you kind of scream because I'm wealthy enough that I can have a coping mechanism of just not dealing with you and just giving you what you want because I can afford it. Whereas that's not how protest is handled in other countries. You know what I'm saying? And,
Yeah.
you know, it's like when Antifa decided to show up, because a bunch of Glendale Armenian and Muslim dads said, no, you won't be teaching this filth to my children in public schools. They're used to be able to show up and bully a bunch of white Christians into submission through cry bullyism and just plain old violence. But the Armenian dads are like, yeah, no, my dad was killed in Syria with the baseball bat in my trunk. Here, let me introduce you to him. You know what I'm saying? They weren't having it, dude. So I do.
Was the bat named Lucille?
No. But that would have been
Do you know that reference?
apropos. Do I know that reference, babe?
Okay, just wondering.
Babe. Anyway, catch us up on Super Chats while we're going.
Okay. Actually, I think I missed. Okay. How do you say this, guys? Is it Nikes 2000?
Yeah, how do you say it? Put it in the chat. How you
Yeah.
pronounce your name, bro?
He says tonight's closing hymn will be Jason Aldean's "Try That in a Small Town."
Oh, savage.
Yeah.
How many people are country fans here? That's something where my mom listened to country music a lot growing up. So I actually know like a lot of like 80s and 90s country because my mom listened to it, but I've never been a country man myself. And I've actually kind of lamented this idea that conservatism, at least social conservatism, is perceived as something of the flyover states that is synonymous with tractors and farming and rural living and good old Christian values being kind of a Midwestern thing, a honky-tonk thing, while Democrats and urbanism are synonymous. Because whenever those internet tests come out and say, oh, based on where you shop with 95% accuracy, I can guess if you're Democrat or Republican. They never guess me right. They always think I'm Democrat. And I got a Banana Republic shirt on, right? So I got to be a Democrat. Oh, wait, but I also have a Honda hat on. So got to be Republican, right? But a lot of these tests say based on where you shop, we can guess whether you're Republican or Democrat. But the biggest problem with those is that correlation is not causation. And oftentimes, urban shopping is different than rural shopping. Companies that are popular in Los Angeles may not be popular in Kern County. Companies that are popular in New York City may not be popular in rural Pennsylvania. So anyway, Yeah, Rex Good says, first, I did 2 Ward Radio likes in one day. Thank you very much, Rex Good.
Actually, we have a super chat from Rex Good. You want me to read it?
Yeah, just catch us up on all the super chats.
I think this is the last one. He says, I was right last night about the Chinese invasion prophecy. Sent it to Brian Stutzman.
Oh, what was that? Rex Good.
Yeah, I
Hit
don't
us
know
up.
what that means.
Yeah, hit us up with another super chat. Tell us what that is. That's cool. There's a Chinese invasion prophecy. I was looking over comments of our live stream yesterday, and some people said that there was a very specific reference to, Brad knows about this Ezra's Eagle thing, and I don't know about it as much. Okay, I'm aware of like the basics, but I wouldn't feel comfortable speaking as an authority on the subject. But we do got to go over it because apparently it's a pretty interesting thing and it's pretty intriguing. And I do believe what Rex Good is referring to here is something having to do with the Ezra's Eagle prophecy. Anyway, catch us up. Brittany, go.
No, I think we are caught up.
Oh, you are caught up? Okay.
Yeah.
Do we want to go over some more lighthearted tweets?
Yeah, or my TikTok.
Well, that's what I meant is your TikTok here.
Yeah, I put them in the Discord.
You put them in the Discord, okay?
It's just lighthearted stuff because, I don't know, this whole World War III thing, it's heavy.
Yeah,
I think everyone's feeling it. It's heavy.
Well, you know what else everybody is feeling as well that I would like you to clarify. Are Taylor Swift and that football player that she's putting on the mat.
We're going to lose
Are they
half
dating?
our viewers now.
No, they're not.
People hate Taylor Swift and yada, yada, yada. Oh my gosh, the Shadow's talking about Taylor Swift. I love Taylor Swift.
Do they give you flack for liking Taylor Swift, babe?
I think a few. I don't know. You have a lot of men in the comments, so
Oh.
I don't think men like Taylor Swift.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, they like you. That's all that matters. And you like Taylor Swift. So kind of like by association, they have to like her a little bit, right?
I mean, I guess I was never good at math, but yeah, I guess A plus B equals C. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know, that 1989 album wasn't so bad.
I love Taylor Swift, and I went to her concert, and I'll probably go see it again in the movie theaters this weekend.
Okay. Rock on. Well, here I'm pulling up some of these TikToks that you sent me, babe. Here's the first one. Are these going to be okay for me to just put up raw on the screen? Because I've never seen them before.
I'm like 99% sure.
You're like 99% sure?
Yeah. I reserve the right for that 1 percentage point that I'm not sure about.
Okay, that's funny. I'm getting the pinwheel of death here for a second. Let me see if
Is it my link?
I don't know if it's a link here. Give me a second. Here we go. Overlay with browser. That's what I was looking for. I want to make sure that the overlay's here. I was hoping the system didn't crash again, but here we go. Okay, the only sound Christians are waiting to hear. Let me see.
This guy's hilarious. If people follow him on TikTok, he has funny stuff.
Okay, it's not going. Let me see. Let me try one more time. Let me try. Oh, you want to know what?
Huh.
This is just the image that OBS puts out. It's not the actual link. That's interesting. Okay, so here's the actual TikTok. Let's go. Oh, it's not. Okay, here we go.
This is how I feel. Like, so much chaos in the world.
I don't get it.
Just wait. His facial expression.
Look at that face. Oh my gosh. And what is this referencing, babe? What is this referencing?
The trumpets.
The
that
trumpets
we're all
of what?
waiting to hear of Jesus' return.
Yeah, well, this has reference to to what many Christians, I do believe, call the rapture, right? Where all of the righteous are taken away, which I believe is the premise of the very successful Christian book series that Dallas Jenkins' father did called Left Behind.
I thought it was just when Jesus appears.
I don't think it's trumps when Jesus appears. I think it's trumps when the righteous are taken away. And so it looks like he's getting ready to beam me up, Scotty. But then again, I might be absolutely butchering my reference here, my pop culture reference. But this guy's dedicated. Look, I think he's got a scriptural tattoo, you know.
I don't know, actually.
And
man, you really like dive deep into TikToks. I literally just scroll, watch, laugh, and go to the next one.
Okay, all right. Okay, so that was the first. The first one was good, babe. The first one was good.
Thank you.
I really liked
you.
it. So let's see what the second one is.
Okay, this one is, if you think you have a rough day, this poor mother.
Okay, let's pause this one here and put it up on the screen.
I think it's just music. She doesn't say anything. It's just a piano of her car.
Okay, well, we're gonna let her see. If you think you've had a rough day, just wait until you see this gal.
You know what I gotta say, 'cause everybody's gonna feel that.
Do you know what that is?
What is that meat?
Ground beef.
Oh no!
The baby got into the grocery bag and started just playing like Play-Doh with ground beef.
Oh my gosh,
Wow.
that is brutal.
Yeah. Gross.
Oh my goodness, that is so funny. Oh, we got to watch that one more time.
You know what I gotta say, 'cause everybody's gonna feel that.
Oh my gosh. Okay. The worst smell. One of the worst smells of my childhood. Do you have a particularly bad smell in your childhood, Brittany?
A bad smell?
Yeah, in your childhood.
I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Okay. One of the worst smells of my childhood was when a stick of butter. I can't remember if it had slipped out when I was taking the groceries out or if me and my mom had left a bag in there or something. But like it was either a box of butter or an extra long cube of butter just melted in the trunk of my mom's 1988 Honda Accord LXI.
Ooh.
And that car, no matter how we washed it out, no matter how we doused it, I scrubbed it with baking soda like 3 times. We washed out that trunk 15 times. And the stank of decayed dairy product, like butter, never got out of the vehicle. So I wonder, this poor mother.
You know there's going to be some little shringle of ground beef stuck in some crevice of the car that she can't get to. And yeah.
It's going to be like a dead animal in
like
that car.
maggots and like, yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Hey, we got a super chat. Catch us up on the super chat, babe.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
Hold on. Where do I have to scroll?
I think it's Bond, Zach. I see a couple of.
Yeah, send a super chat. Thank you. And then Lisa. Thank you, Lisa.
All right, rock on.
Oh, wait. She said, my phone died. Oh, you're on your own.
I'm on my own. That's funny.
You're on your own. Lisa said the last. If you go to Lisa's super chat, I think she said her comment was before or after that super chat. I can't remember.
Well, that's great. You know, because we're wrapping up here in 5 minutes anyway. Unfortunately, we've already gone into 9 minutes of overtime here. I promised my wife that we keep this to 60 to 90 minutes, and we're already coming up on like 2 hours here with the unfortunate circumstance of
okay, well, read
having
Lisa's
to
super
start
chat.
Okay, I'm going to read her super chat. Let's go to the bottom here. It's Zach Bond. No,
Lisa.
Lisa, I'm trying to find it, babe. I'm trying to find it. Let me see. Hold on.
Her comment's not in the super chat. It's either before or after.
Lisa gives us $1. And where does... I'm going to have to make this screen bigger so I can see it all. Lisa, I'm looking for you, Lisa. I'm looking for you. You did your due diligence. You gave us a super chat.
No, you're going too far.
Lisa gave 2 thumbs down. That might be a different Lisa.
Lisa, I was
Yeah.
trying to help you.
Oh, how were you trying to help? What was...
By reading her super chat, and she gave us 2 thumbs down.
Oh, maybe she was giving 2 thumbs down to somebody else, and that was a different super chat. I would feel bad.
know. You're going way too far. You got to go down.
Okay, I'm going
my
down.
gosh.
There's the super chat from Zach Bond. There's Lisa. And then Richard Stafford, Steve Diamond, Rex Good, Dean Schwank. And I'm not seeing Lisa. Oh, she says, this is my super chat message. I sent the super chat before that message. I don't know how to do that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks for the super chat telling us that you don't know how to super chat when you can, or no, thanks for the super chat and then the regular message telling us you don't know how to super chat. Hopefully soon you'll get those together and send us another super chat. We'd love to read it on air. And Rex Good says, I want to make butter. Babe, have you ever made butter?
I have, actually.
Ooh, what's that? I thought we were going to end, but now I want you to tell me, how do you make butter?
Well, I mean, how extensive do you mean by make it? Like, did I milk the cow and separate the cream from the milk? Like, no, I have not done that.
Oh.
But if you buy just cream from the grocery store, you literally just pour it in a bowl. You get your little, if you have a KitchenAid or a beater or whatever, and you just whip it. And then it separates first it goes into like a whipped cream phase. You keep going, keep beating, and then it separates. and then it forms into like a solid. So then you have your butter, and the rest of the liquid, there's a fly. The rest of the liquid is buttermilk. So then you can jar up your buttermilk, put that in the fridge, and then the rest you put butter and you can salt it and you can package it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
It just reminds me of one of the more hilarious stand-up routines of Tanner K when I was in BYU Humor U. And he talked about his parents who legitimately thought that it was hormones in the milk that was turning people gay.
What? I've never heard of that.
Yeah, I don't remember. I can't regurgitate his stand-up routine because obviously I lack the comedic timing. But the premise of the joke was something along the lines of his kooky parents and their funny ideas. And one of their ideas was that it was hormones in the milk that were causing like some kind of, it was like making him short and then turning his friends gay or something like. I don't remember what it was, but it was very funny and comedically timed. I would recommend people go back and watch the original stand-up routine before they start, reciting it to their friends in mixed company.
Go back to my Discord. I think I had one more TikTok, but I can't remember exactly.
And then you got to tell me, are you going to vote for RFK, babe?
Look for the TikTok first.
Look for the TikTok first?
Yeah.
Because I got to tell you, there's a lot of people here talking about him that are disappointed in the VA-XX and the fact that he's kind of against that. They're very in on. So I'm not seeing it, babe.
Did I only put 2 in there?
It looks like you only put 2 in here.
No, there's one. It's just that one. That one.
My
if you
goodness
think you're also
gracious.
having a bad day, just
Okay,
dang.
Here we go. Here's another TikTok. I don't even know what I'm looking at, and I don't think you do either. Is that a kangaroo? I don't know.
No, it's not a kangaroo.
Okay, well, here we go. We're gonna see what this TikTok has to say.
That's obviously her McDonald's cup or something. Her dog is sitting on the straw. And I think the caption was like, how many times has this happened and I didn't notice? That's disgusting. That's absolutely disgusting.
Oh, one of the worst things one of my roommates ever did on accident was somebody had taken the can, after they opened a can of pineapple for a recipe, presumably for some kind of pie or some kind of soup, and they'd taken the pineapple.
Wait, pineapple for pie or soup?
Or whatever it is. What do people use pineapples for?
Like smoothies?
Okay, fine. They use
pie or soup? We're going to go make some pineapple soup.
Okay. Well, he'd taken all the pineapples out, right?
Okay.
And what had happened was they had put it underneath the sink and somebody had used it to pour grease out on. Okay. And
Into the can, the empty can?
Yeah. So
Okay.
that it didn't go down the sink. They poured the
Okay.
grease from some hamburger meat that they'd made. But then they left it out. And what had happened was when I was cleaning the kitchen, I saw this thing left underneath the sink and I picked it up. I was like, this looks like grease. And I kind of smelled it. I was like, oh, this is kind of grease. And I wasn't sure if maybe somebody was saving it to use like the Crisco, that kind of thin layer of Crisco for something else later or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I walked over to my room and I said, dude, are you saving this for something? Do you know what this is? Do you know what this is for? And he thought when I said, do you know what this is? That like he was supposed to taste test it.
Oh.
So yeah, it was, yeah. So he just really quickly takes his finger and goes like, and then like, it just starts just like dry heaving and spitting out everywhere. He's like, why'd you give that to me? I was like, I didn't, bro. I literally just handed it your direction. I said, do you know what this is? And your olfactory investigative senses just went to work in overtime and he took a chunk of it. And I was like, what?
You can't laugh at that dude too hard. Should I tell the story of what you tried one time?
What are you
When
talking?
someone handed you something and you...
Well, I don't remember. Remind me of the place before you embarrass me on my own live stream. Where was this?
Well, if I say the place, that's going to make it really awkward.
What?
Okay, one of my pregnancy visits.
Oh, there was no way I was trying that. I never tried. Oh, are you talking about when I ate the baby formula? When
Yes.
we were at the OBGYN?
Well, now you took the punchline. But
Oh.
yes, so we...
Baby formula tastes good. And I want to see what my
let
kids
me
were
tell
drinking.
the story. Okay, we were pregnant with our first. I'm very much pregnant. And my wonderful doctor, who he knows us very well, he was actually in our stake presidency, and he brings out some formula And he was like, and they were like the pre-made bottles, okay, the pre-made bottle formulas. And he was like, hey, so these are for you guys to try out. Obviously, he meant like after you give birth, like see which kind your baby likes or tolerates. So he hands the bag of bottle formula to Cardin, and Cardin literally undoes the cap and slams the baby formula bottle. And me and the doctor, we were both just like, that wasn't for you.
Well, I wanted to see what we're giving our kid to know if it tastes like crap
but
or not.
You didn't even talk. He handed you the baby formula and you literally unscrewed and slammed it.
I don't know why this is a story.
It was shocking. I was like, why are you trying baby formula?
Well, by the looks on your faces, he was a little bit dupified, so I must have violated some kind of parental social norm. Okay, but yeah, catch us up on Super Chats, babe. Before we gotta go, we unfortunately gotta go.
Dead.
Oh yeah, so I'm on my own again. I forgot.
I told
asked you if you needed a charger.
I thought I had enough charge.
Okay, wow. Lesson to all you future husbands out there: when your wife says, "I'm not hungry, I'll just have some of yours," buy a second one of whatever yours is, okay?
Well, yeah.
And then also when they say, oh, no, I don't need a phone charger, it's fine, my phone will last, plug in their phone. Just plug in their phone because, you know.
Well, I don't like when it's like plugged into the wall because then I have to hold my phone like this because the cord's not
then
long
I'm going to
enough.
get you a longer one. I will provide. This will be part of my providership, okay?
Okay.
So Rex Good says, I can't get past the whipped cream stage. Oh, okay. So he's like, he's not making the butter because he digs the whipped cream too much.
Oh.
And it is tasty. It is tasty.
Well, then you get 2 bottles or cartons of cream. Make one for whipped cream and then make your other with butter.
Okay, awesome. Now also, so Lisa gave us a small super chat. Thank you, Lisa. And then she had to type in a question later. Well, she just gave us another super chat with message retracted on it. So now
We're getting closer. We're getting closer, Lisa.
Closer. She's getting closer, right? So last question is from Rex Good says, is that what happened to me? Question mark. I wonder what.
Oh, you're talking about the hormones with the milk, that comedian.
Oh. Rex Good, you like dairy too much, bro. You know, that's funny. I like Rex Good. He's got a very good sense of humor. I dig him. I know he's like your little bestie. So anyway, yeah, we're gonna wrap it up here. If you got any last burning questions, let us know what your burning questions are. Let us know what you thought of the live stream. If you haven't yet, please make sure you like this live stream. I know I keep asking for you guys to do that, but look, we only got 48 likes. 48 likes, what is that? You know? But yeah, if you can, please give us extra couple of likes, smash that like button. If you haven't had a chance yet to subscribe, you can subscribe. I got some cool stuff coming down the pike soon, guys. We actually have been designing some merch over the past 6 to 8 weeks. It's actually...
Okay, wait, hold on. You said down the pike?
Yeah, coming down the pike, right? Is it
I
like
thought
the
it was-
turnpike?
I thought it was down the pipe.
No, it's down the pipeline and then down the pike, right?
I've always said down the pipe, but I don't know. Maybe I'm
Really?
wrong.
Okay, so hold on. I'm going to say coming down the pike. I'm Googling this here in live
There's a
time for you.
fly.
Coming down the pike versus coming down the pipe. Oh my gosh. Okay, look at this. There's a Merriam-Webster article on this exact and very same thing, and we're actually just going to take a look at it. We're going to take a gander, okay? Here's what Merriam-Webster says on this very same issue, okay? They say, is it down the pike or is it down the pipe? So here we go. Hold on. Going back to Firefox.
Who
here.
knew this is where our live stream is going to end up? Not
I
me.
know, this is I
Not
don't know
me.
either. But here it is right here. So here it is. Is it down the pike or down the pipe? Wherever it goes, however it gets here, be ready for it. So here's the actual official article. I'm going to read what it
What's
says
the
before
answer?
we go. The phrase down the pike initially was used to mean in the course of events and more recently in the future. Pike here is short for turnpike. Ah, see?
Remember I said it's just like down the turnpike. And in this case is a metaphor for something encountered along the road one is traveling. Sometimes down the pipe is used with the same meaning, probably showing a conflation of the similarity between the words pike and pipe and the phrase in the pipeline meaning things to come. So yeah, it's
So
in
it's
the
both.
pipeline. Yeah, you can kind of say both. We just got a super chat from Brandon Cole. Read that before we go because we're winding this down, babe. Read the super chat from Brandon Cole.
For the last
I
time,
forgot, I
I
forgot.
can't.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Brandon Cole says, whatever happened with that footage from Reed Moon to be digitized? Did I miss that video or are y'all still working on that project? Really good question. Okay. We are still working on that. But only 3 weeks ago, we were able to go to Reflex Studios. Actually, you know what? I got the SD card here. I'm going to show this. I'm going to show this.
Snap.
I'm going to show this on the live stream because our audience deserves to see what's going on and know what's up because they're vested in this channel. They want to know what's going on. They want to see what's happening. So I will deliver, okay? If I go into the clips here, nope, that's the protest clips. Let me go into AVCHD and see if I can't find where this is. Give me 2 seconds right here. Found it. Okay. I am just going to play this for y'all and make sure you can see it on the screen. Here is some footage. All right. Here's some footage. This is the unedited footage, all right, of us going down to Reflex Studios. Here's me talking in the media vault with some friends of mine. This right here is a guy by the name of Reed Beauvais, okay? He's the #1 film archivist in the world, and he actually has hand-built machines. Here's some machines that he has hand-built. Okay. Originally, he was a documentary filmmaker. And as a documentary filmmaker, he often wanted to be able to get footage from old films and use it in part of his documentary. But unfortunately, the problem with old films is they're exactly that, films. They're not digital. And a lot of the older films, when they started to get older, they would shrink. And they would also curve and they couldn't run through a regular sprocketed scanner. So he was the first to develop a sprocketless scanner. This is actually one of the first machines he built, and he machined every single one of those parts on his own inside of his own machine shop. That machine is literally priceless. You couldn't buy it for $500,000, and he made it himself. And that would be used to scan some of the footage off of these reels, right? So he took us into his studios here down in Burbank. It's the #1 place. And I'm going to scrub through some of the footage really fast. But this right here is actually an old Smothers Brothers kinescope film that he is kind of working on and restoring and so on and so forth down in Burbank. I can't show you the JFK footage yet that he was able to restore, but he was able to do a forensic analysis and figure out, okay, what type of scan it was, from what year it came on, what kind of film it was on, what kind of process was involved in creating the copies or the scans or the what are called the prints from the original negatives and so on and so forth. And we were able to film him giving his professional opinion and gleaning footage for what will hopefully be a future documentary. But as you know, copyright is a big part of filmmaking, and I've been instructed by but every lawyer that's involved in every contract in this process of securing the rights to the footage and so on and so forth, that I cannot disclose on this channel yet the images taken from the JFK films yet, or else I might actually negatively impact my future copyright of the film that I produce with it. So what we've done is there were 4 or 5 people that contributed through Venmo a small sum of money to help pay for the scanning. It's nothing huge, but they've always been in the back of my mind, and I don't know whether we're going to have to give them some kind of cool merch for the project once it comes out. if I won't be able to negotiate some kind of free DVD copy once we make the documentary, or some kind of code where they get to watch a pre-release of the movie, or who knows, we give them associate producer credit on the film buried somewhere in the credits. I don't know. But we're going to figure something out for everybody that was involved and excited about that project that wanted to participate in it, and give them rights of first refusal, most likely, for any kind of future fundraising efforts if we do end up putting the movie out there on some kind of streaming platform. Let's just say, I don't know, BYU TV is interested, or Netflix, or History Channel, or something along those lines. But yeah, the JFK films, I got pen and paper. We got the rights to it. We've scanned it. We've had professionals take a look at it, real Hollywood people, and it's going to be a lot of fun when it comes out. But unfortunately, I can't show it yet, or else I might violate my own copyright. So we're learning very quickly here the intricacies of holding footage about the assassination of a president and the legality thereof. But yeah, that's what's going on. So anyway, any other super chats that came up? Did you see before I go? Can we go? No, we're out of here. All right. Oh, Major Prophet John Hammond also said, thanks for the stream. Shout out to Lego Joseph Smith. Oh, guys, do you want Lego Joseph Smith on the show? Do you want him on the show? Because I think he's freaking hilarious. I mean, he goes hard in the paint, harder than I would even go sometimes. But it's been like pulling teeth to try and get him on the show. Sometimes there's been logistical issues. Sometimes we haven't been able to line up on an idea. But I got a really, really, really funny, hilarious idea that I thought would be cool to do with him. And maybe we got to re-invite him here. So if any of you guys need have connections with Lego Joseph Smith, tell him he's got to come on the show. You got to DM him. You got to message him. Tell him he's got to come on the show, right? And there's a question from Richard Stafford. It says, need Ward Radio merch and swag. The swag is coming. The swag is coming. I only get paid once a month based off the revenue from this channel. And it's revenue from this channel that we're using to slowly accumulate enough money to pay for the first process of silk screening and so on and so forth. But I'm thinking we're going to do shirts first, babe. Do you like the idea of shirts first, or would you want hats?
I think more people will like shirts.
Yeah, so it's most likely going to be shirts, but the swag is coming. Also, we will probably, just for fun, be selling indulgences. I thought it'd be a very easy and simple thing to do, where if you send us a check to our mail address, then you can actually do indulgences. Also, if you're a boomer here, I've had 3 or 4 boomers in the chat say, we love your show, but we don't do Venmo. We don't do PayPal. We don't do Zelle. We don't do anything like that. So I need somewhere where I can just send a check. We actually do have a physical address near Santa Clarita Studios in North LA County, where we film. Actually, here is there's an office on the back lot where you can actually send mail, and I'll publish that address so you guys can actually send us a check if you want. So reach out on the website, and if you want to send us a check, you can send us a check. Let us know that you're interested in contributing, and we'll contribute. If not, please make sure that you hit us up on Venmo at Ward Radio. You can always hit us up on Venmo at Ward Radio. That's what helps keep this channel going. Anyway, anything else you want to say before we go?
Nope.
Nope, that's it. Okay, awesome. Well, as always, guys, it has been real, and it has been fun, and it has been real fun. Thanks for hanging out with us. It's been an absolute blast. If you haven't had a chance yet to make sure you like this stream, make sure you like the stream, because that's what keeps us rolling and keeps us going. And it's been real, and it's been fun, and it's been real fun. I'm hoping that I can just turn off the stream right here, but